back into the top 4. The fact that they're not even in the top 4 already says a lot about how their season has progressed thus far. Just below them, one standing literally below them, of course, is 7th Heaven. Not quite in 7th place, guys. They're in 6th, and they probably don't want to go to 7th.
Buck taken off the board here from 7th Heaven. Of course, this operator has a lot of versatility on Chalet, a lot of soft destruction, particularly on the vertical. Maverick followed up here by the Giants, and that already is a change up from the bans that they took against Elevate. In fact, when they played them, it was an ace ban on the hard breach, so a small change up there. 7th Heaven, of course, they'll respond with a ban of their own. Actually, no, Giants on defense rather. Wamai taken off the board, so projectile denial taken down here by the Giants. This is really going to open up this matchup. We'll round things out, of course, with that final ban. And it's Mirror taken off the board. So nothing too crazy there. Mirror, again, a lot of versatility and a headache to deal with.
Pretty similar bans to the last time we saw. Well, actually, it wasn't the last time. No, it was actually the last time we saw Chalet. I can't believe that both of them were actually in play day number 1. Of course, Giants playing that one against Xavier, losing out. That was mentioned by the desk, so good job to them for doing their research. But I think this is a different Giants. It's also a different point in the season. Play day 1 so long ago, almost a month ago now. And Giants have been steadily improving. Although they did lose last week. So, I mean, what am I really saying here, guys?
I think what you're saying is APAC South is a crazy league, and trying to predict it is like flipping a coin, honestly, in a lot of these matchups. And that's why I am so confident that we are going to have a close match here. At the very least, entertaining. Like,
yes, I can definitely go with entertaining. I don't know, close. But maybe I can just like cast a bless this and just go with the fact that I think Giants is going to win this convincingly. But low-key then hoping that 7th Heaven actually make it a close affair, because I love Chalet. I'm also really happy we got to cast Coastline and now Chalet, guys. All those weeks of Oregon and Clubhouse, and we get Chalet to close off play day 5. It's a blessing. And 7th Heaven on the defense first probably should say a lot about how this match is going to play out.
Now, of course, both of these teams did actually take on one another last year. It was a while ago. APAC North Stage 1 in June. A lifetime ago now. It was a 7-3 result that went in favour, of course, of the Giants. But they were quick to point out, the Giants themselves, on Twitter, that 7th Heaven are no pushover. They're not to be underestimated, and admittedly, at least us, the casters, and I'm sure the majority of the community have already underestimated 7th Heaven, and they've surpassed those expectations already. They are a serious threat in this league. And I'm sure the Giants, if they carry that mantra across from last year, they'll know that heading into this match.
Definitely got my eyes on Spirited. Had a shaky match in his seasonal debut for APAC South against the Knights in what was, of course, a very crazy affair. Not the best stats, guys, but did come up big in at least 2 rounds, one of them being that 7th round, which denied the 7-0 to Knights. But outside of those clutch rounds, Spirited didn't really offer much else, and we'll see if he can have more impact over the course of the entire match.
The Giants getting to work early here in round number 1, or maybe not early, it is already the mid-round phase, establishing that vert and cutting off any potential rotations. That, of course, facilitates your Zero's vault in towards Trophy as they make sure that Kitchen is clear. So it's going to be a horizontal take for the most part here from the Giants, keeping in mind that the bomb site is on the other side of the map. Your Zero will gain some intel with the Gemini Pika to shut that down and rotate back in towards the site. No massive threats being placed here onto the 7th Heaven defense, but still plenty of time for the Giants to establish that.
Yeah, and look, Chalet, you could expect to see early engagements, maybe not quite coastline level early. All depends, of course, on how the attacking team wants to play it, whether they want to be a bit more methodical, cool, calm, and approaching their attacks. We'll speak easy with a nice little drone out there. Historic's going to get the opening frag. That's not too uncommon, Guz. That's literally his tagline, getting those opening frags. Jordan will find the second of the round now for Giants onto Souffle. And suddenly Giants, with 35 seconds left, are looking likely to take this round unless 7th Heaven can stop them in their tracks.
I was talking earlier about pressure, and now with a couple of players lost, 7th Heaven now feeling the pressure from above as Hysterics. Oh my. He's found 3 in the first round of the map. He could be a menace tonight. 7th Heaven will need to shut him down eventually. Spirited shuts down Jordan, but it could be too little too late. It is.
Oh my god.
It's Hysterics with a 4K in round number 1.
Not the best signs, unfortunately, for 7th Heaven if we're going to be seeing this from Hysterics all night long. And it is very likely that we could be, arguably, at least on paper, without looking at the statistics, the best opening kill player in APAC South, constantly finding those opening frags, giving Giants an advantage early on in rounds. But the fact that he's able to also capitalize beyond that, find another 2 or 3 later in the round, ends up with 4 overall, and just sweeps across Chalet in round number 1. 7th Heaven have got their work cut out for them, that is for sure. They're not going to repeat site. They're going to head to basement, head down to the garage.
Well, you said without looking at stats, Hysterics is, or feels like, the best entry. He literally is. If you look at the stats, the best in the league. He's going 12-5. That's a +7. Well ahead of basically anyone else in the league. And add on top of that, the man heading into tonight is going 51-27 kills to deaths.
Wow.
+24. That is getting close to a 2 KD in competitive Siege. Yes. The next closest is on Agiri on +19. Who's trailing by 6 kills as well. So Hysterics is really just a whole nother class above the rest of the league at the moment. And
yeah,
a nice pad stat in round number 1 could be the kickstart for him to really pop off once again.
I'm not entirely sure if there's a formal MVP for the stage, but if there isn't, informally, I think you could almost give it to Hysterics now. With 2 play days to go. It's that ridiculous how good he has been for the Giants. And beyond that, though, the Giants themselves as a team have been shaky throughout the season. There's a reason why they're not in the top 4. Kind of needs the others to stand up a little bit and help out. But once they start doing that, then they will look like the Giants of old. And that's when it's really scary for the rest of the teams in APAC South.
Well, on the topic of top fraggers, the top fragger was just being spectated then. The Kaid Souffle, top of the charts for 7th Heaven so far in stage number 1. Posting some really good numbers as well. 41-34 kills to deaths. So he can go quite big when required. So maybe this will come down to a little bit of a battle between those two in the frag department.
3 down, 2 up. Positionally for 7th Heaven. Wow, Ray's down actually now. Eliminated by Speakeasy, who's just sitting in Mudroom and finds a pretty easy frag and gives the Giants the advantage. 5 versus 4. And considering throughout the season, the Giants having so many advantages early on due to those opening kills and not being able to capitalize so often, this could be a really good game for them to just really start to capitalize on those advantages and be formidable, really put the foot on the throat of 7th Heaven and just stamp their authority on this game and send a bit of a warning call to the rest of the competition. Minute and 15 seconds in this second round. And it's looking like Giants are shaping up for this attack as they start to go down below towards basement.
Yeah, quick rotation here from the Giants. It looks like the diffuser will be taken by Luna. I would assume over towards Trench, it is as he drops down. They might open the ball here on the eastern side of the map. Luna elects to do so, sends out 2 Salmas. That's a nice entry point in towards the side, or at the very least, a nice cross to cover the rotation from Con and these players tucked away deep. They do have a deployable shield to assist, but the Giants, of course, will be quite proficient in clearing that out. And once that shield's gone, this will be a tricky defense.
Yeah, the clash being there as well does make things a bit tricky here for Giants. So you've got the shield and you've got the clash. Kind of mitigates this hole a bit. They have opened up another one, though, elsewhere to just try and get more sight lines. It's doing a bit of damage here as well. Actually, Luna's down and out. ED will finish it off the kill with the gas canister. This is not going quite as clean for Giants as they would have expected. Really being put off guard by that Clash, who has taken a lot of damage. Hasn't quite been eliminated, though. One more bullet should just about do the trick. Speakeasy, headshot onto Pika. And this round now falling apart for 7th Heaven. Nice headshot. Ysera and Jordan capitalized together right in the crunch moments of that second round. And Giants pull through.
Yeah, I really liked what I saw there from 7th Heaven. The combination of the deployable shield and the clash did seem to at least momentarily halt that attack a little bit. But the Giants, they really thrive in calculated play. They were able to clear that out. Took a little bit of time, but in the end, they get the job done pretty cleanly. Good start for them here on Chalet. They're looking confident, despite their form being a little bit shaky as of late.
And I think they did that. I mean, I could be wrong here, but with the fact that they ignored blue, they didn't have anyone come through snowmobile as well. So they essentially funneled in from one side of the map in basement and still just won it with ease. I think that could have gone even better for Giants. Like, there's an avenue in which they could have even played that on a whole another level, and yet they still come out on top. To 7th Heaven's credit, though, and as you said, the clash with the shield proving to be difficult for a moment in time, but was eventually worked around, and that just shows how good the Giants are. They're versatile. They're able to deal with obstacles in their way at a level that maybe other teams aren't able to do so on a regular basis. We head back to Bar Gaming. This was attempted in round number 1. I'm actually a little surprised, though, guys, that we haven't seen second floor bedroom yet.
Yeah, it does feel like teams are still feeling out which sites they prefer, and more often than not, in matches across all the regions, we see all 4 sites make an appearance, whether or not that be the one team selecting all 4 or across the 2 halves. It really just depends. So would not be surprised if we do end up seeing 7th Heaven attempt bedroom a little bit later. I guess part of that hinges on their success in this round and whether or not they have the confidence to attempt a brand new site. I like this from Pika, though. He's playing over towards this kitchen position time and time again, or at least in the first 2 rounds, the only 2 that we've seen. In fact, the Giants have established a foothold on this side of the map where he gets lit up. They've established a foothold on this side of the map, and really that has been where they've been pushing from. So contesting this probably is the play. But getting taken down is not. If it was Ysera, it had to be Ysera that hit him then, right?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, that was... I don't know.
Maybe we didn't quite get the full picture there, but 7th Heaven certainly did get that picture right in the face of Ray. 0-3 to start the first 3 rounds. Giants again. The 3rd time in this match with the 5-on-4 advantage. And they're not even playing too hectic either in their approach on these attacking rounds. They're actually playing that calm playstyle.
Nitro Soul heads out there from Pika. So gets it back to a 4 versus 4. ED's position side of the library compromised, though. He's stuck deep in towards the corner here. And we've seen time and time again already, the Giants' communication and clear has been very fruitful. Speakeasy, though, he's alone at the moment. I think the call has come for a player to assist. Ysera, alongside, has a nade in the hand as well that might be of use.
If Edie gets out of this alive, there's a chance the 7th Heaven win this round, because it means something's gone wrong there for Giants. They have him absolutely pincered in this corner. There's no way they can allow him to get through. He does have a swing, unsuccessful. Speakeasy's prone there at the moment. 50 seconds left into the round. So, I mean, Giants can't just stay here forever. They are going to have to deal with this quickly. Edie does actually manage to get out. 3 versus 4 with 40 seconds left in the round. Spirited needs to go big from this position and finding at least 1 frag. Otherwise, if Giants swarm onto the site, they are going to have the advantage, and Souffle is going to be the one who gets the kill. It's on to Luna, having a quiet start so far, but Hysterics is still alive. That means it's good times for Giants, because he's usually going to frag out. He loses a big partner in crime, though, in Speakeasy. Down to a 2 versus 2, but time is of the essence. Giants are running out of it. Ysera with a big pickup onto Souffle leaves just Spirited alone. Has got a reputation, though, for clutching out rounds, as we saw in Oregon in Playday number 4. May do so here now on Chalet by getting the frag to Hysterics. Ysera does have the diffuser in hand, but Spirited, he's done it again, just like Oregon. Comes up big for 7th Heaven.
Spirited. He's the clutch machine for 7th Heaven. Produces them when they need him the most. He did it against the Knights to keep them alive a couple of days ago, and he's doing the same again here against the Giants, and in doing so, 7th Heaven will claim their first round here on Chalet. Now, a little fun fact, thanks Dev for pointing this one out. Spirited is actually technically an ex-Giants player. He was on the roster back when they were, of course, known as Aerowolf back in the Pro League days for some of the OGs out there. He was only a sub, but he did actually play a few games in replacement of Luna. So a little bit of history there.
A big thank you to Dev. Just doing, our job for, himself. Big pat on the back. He always loves to get involved. Even when he's not on the air, he wants that airtime. But 2-1. Big round win for 7th Heaven, guys, because it was just looking like one-way traffic. It was looking like Giants were going to steamroll this map, especially here on the attack. Spirited in the 1v2. He is the clutch god. But can he have an impact outside of those scenarios? That's probably what we still need to see more of.
One thing that was a little bit concerning for me in that last round was the Giants in clearance of above. Pretty sure it was ED, right? He was just tucked in the corner there, causing a couple of issues. And the Giants spotted him out. They made the call. They had 2 players ready and waiting to try and shut that down. But they just didn't quite execute it right. And unfortunately, that player was allowed to scurry away. Sure, taken down in the end, but it was, just a small mistake that maybe compounded into that round loss.
Early kill. Earliest kill of the map so far. Jordan just going straight in. He's immediately traded back though by Pika, pushing from those library stairs. 4 versus 4 here on out for this 4th round. It's in the numbers. Maybe it's a sign that 7th Heaven are going to tie this up 2-2. 2 plus 2 equals 4, guys.
Yes, it does. But that math has already been blown out. Luna gets himself into this round. It's a nice little pick there with the AK onto Souffle, the danger man, for 7th Heaven, who unfortunately hasn't had a big impact in this match thus far. Unfortunately, going 2-4. So the Giants doing a great job in keeping him quiet.
Ray still to get on the board as well. 0-4. Souffle 2-4. ED 1-3. I mean, it's really across the board for 7th Heaven. It's not just a one-man issue. I mean, besides Spirited getting that 1v2 clutch, we haven't seen a lot from 7th Heaven in ways of dominating against Giants. It has been the Giants' show thus far here on Chalet as they look to continue their rampage towards a commanding attacking half. That's the Yokai drone placement from ED.
Minute left on the board. Ysera with a nade in hand, looking to clear some utility. Does so, and that allows the Salmas to pop off, and Luna can generate those nice long lines of sight. The left side, I believe, maybe still muted by Spirited and his utility. But there should be at least 1 entry point. It's 2 now, and they can think about getting this plant down. A couple of crosses, of course, that need to be accounted for, but the Giants, they'll be well aware of that. They've got a player positioned on the piano window. That's critical. Hysterics needs to stay alive, needs to monitor this cross and not allow Pika to get away with anything.
Yeah, good call, guys. If he dies there, then that's really going to hinder Giants for the remainder of the round. 17 seconds left. I was going to say they're looking pretty primed here to get this plant down. They have the sight lines. They'll have everything that they really need. Oh. Pika still just catches Luna. 10 seconds. They got to get over and get that diffuser. May look to try and find the kills first, though. Hysterics. Speakeasy, you're looking right at him, and then does get the kill. The C4, though, from Spirited. No time. Guess who? It is the clutch god himself. Ysera has the diffuser, but it's Spirited in a 1 versus 2. We know what he likes to do in these positions, and that's to win.
40 seconds now. A player inside of K9. He can sit outside and wait. There's a player inside Piano. That's Hysterics. He doesn't lose those. And the Giants will clutch up the round. I don't know how close that round win was there for 7th Heaven. The timer had to have been on 0 seconds.
It was. I'm pretty certain it was going down on 0-0-0 after Spirited got that C4. I thought he had done enough, but apparently not. And we're still left in a clutch scenario once again. How does Spirited keep finding himself in this position? This time, though, doesn't win it, Guz. Seventh Heaven had an opportunity to really set the tone for this match. 2-2 after the way Giants looked in the first couple of rounds would have been so crucial. And now that gap widens. It's 3-1. We will repeat, though. Back over to Master Bedroom and Office once again. They weren't too far off. And I thought they did pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah, it was an incredibly tight round in the end, but you can't really be leaving these rounds up to Spirited on every single occasion. And of course, it's difficult in such a short time frame to ascertain exactly why it's always coming down to him in these clutch situations. But yeah, not ideal for Seventh Heaven. I will credit Pika there in that round. He had a nice little impact, and I thought the fact that Hysterics decided not to hold the window could have been to their detriment. Pika then unfortunately found himself caught off guard, taken down on that pixel angle. If he had have stayed alive there, inside a piano like I mentioned before the execute, he could have had a huge impact. That round would have played out very differently.
An opportunity, though, now presents itself for the Giants to run away with this half, take a commanding lead into their defense. Obviously, we haven't seen enough of Chalet. I mean, we've only seen 2 games in APAC to really sort of make a call, attack, or defense. But from those 2 games, it's essentially 50-50. So any sort of half that's 4-2, or in what case the Giants may achieve here in sort of a 5-1 half, is going to be so difficult for Seventh Heaven. 3-3 is probably par for the course. So Seventh Heaven on the pressure. They're on the back foot.
Yazira downstairs actually uses the Gon 6 on the hatch, sends out a very early nade. Oh, he's used that to clear the utility off the wall. I like that. The Salmas can detonate.
Okay.
And that's a nice line of sight down below inside of dining if the Giants want to clear the roamers.
I haven't cleared out the player in kitchen yet, and all that has now done is allowed that player in kitchen to have a sight light himself. So, see how this plays out. Smart play. It is Spirited, who I'm sure is going to once again have an impact later in this round at some point, but now it's not his time. With the minute 20 left, it's up to the others.
The Giants, again, really favouring this northern side of the map. It's a trend that we see a lot in APAC, as Ray, with a slither of HP, puts Jordan to sleep outside of the window. Spirited as well. He has an impact in this round. Once again, it's Speakeasy taken down with the Nitro Cell. Ray still looking to hold these stairs. It's a critical position, but he's also on a critical amount of HP.
Oh, geez, topsy-turvy there from Luna on the ace. Gemini out from Yazira. 40 seconds left. Seventh Heaven rightfully in this round. Nice ping onto Spirited in kitchen, putting that Gemini to good use, but Giants just don't even really have the players to cover and to go hunting. Ray now starting to feel like he can swing. Yazira, though, from behind, pushing up through trophy stairs, and Edie with a quick double in the end to close out the round. Massive round from Seventh Heaven. They needed this one to not allow the scoreline to balloon out, and successfully will defend off Giants. It's 2-3, final round in the half.
Really impressive round there from Ray. That was his first couple of picks in the entire match thus far, and they were critical, especially that second one. He was so low on HP, but he still had the confidence to play off, I would assume, intel and find the pick downstairs. Really cool to see. And Seventh Heaven, they're turning this into a match. I'd love to know the stats on how attacker-sided Chalet is, maybe just within APAC or more globally, but... Well,
10 attacking round wins, 11 defensive round wins in the 2 games that we've seen of Chalet, which was on play day 1. So you sort of make of it as you will, Guz, and that's sort of why I was saying before, I think a 3-3 half is really on the money, right? Since you're not really favoured on either side.
Well, 7th Heaven. Want to get it to 3-3, we'll need to see a strong showing downstairs. Now, we did see them bring out the Clash and the Deployable Shield combo inside of Wine Cellar last time. The Giants did have a few teething issues clearing it out, but in the end, it was quite a clean clear. I would assume that 7th Heaven are probably going to do something similar. They might actually switch it up. So I'm not sure exactly where Spirited will play. We'll have to see where he goes. He's currently drone hunting over towards the main garage. He's not going to stay there, of course. Maybe we could see something inside of blue. We've got the shield set up facing in towards wine, and that little elbow position inside of blue can be tricky to clear at the best of times.
Well, last time out, we didn't really see Giants put pressure on blue. In fairness, the Clash was a big play for 7th Heaven. Giants ended up really winding the clock down to the last 10 seconds or so before they were finally able to deal with the Clash. We'll see if that's going to play another big impact again here in the final round of the half. Ray, just feeling himself maybe a little bit, Guz, after the last round.
Yeah, well, he has the Bolo Charm equipped, so that does automatically give you a 10% accuracy boost. Just holding downstairs at the moment, maybe trying to find the opening pick. Of course, needs to be careful that he doesn't get picked himself. That said, there is also a player down there ready and waiting to trade it out, but it doesn't quite come in time. Speakeasy finds one unanswered, and the Giants get the lead in this round.
As they usually do. Unfortunately, the Giants doesn't necessarily always translate into a round win, as we've seen quite a few times now throughout the season. Gemini effective again in finding out a player or two. And a quick trade. Souffle not able to stay alive for much longer. As soon as he gets that kill, immediately hunted down and killed off. Again, lead for Giants. Still a minute left on the clock. Still have to deal with this Clash, though, down below from Spirited, who always plays well. I feel like gets a buff in the last 30 seconds of rounds. Oh, that nade is unsuccessful from Ysera.
ED can now fall back. He's trying to aggressively hold those stairs and forces the hand of the Giants, who'll rotate over towards Snowmobile. Smoke canister gets blocked there by Spirited. ED detonates it. Lots of angles created here by the Giants, but they need to find the opportunity, the right opportunity to pounce. The kit's in the hands of Ysera, and they'll need to cover him as he thinks about heading in for a plant.
Just continuing to pepper away at Spirited, landing a few shots now.
Oh, good block.
Oh, yeah, there's so much pressure, so many different angles. They took a lot of their time, Giants, in creating these angles, and they're getting the reward for it now, but there's only 8 seconds left. Spirited down, Pika now in a 1 versus 1 against the Yana of Ysera.
Oh, does he have a drone?
Yokai drone to try and deny the plant, and 7th Heaven. Did he get off it?
Wait, what?
I think he just got off it naturally. Yeah.
I think so that he went off it to try and find the kill and then narrowly missed it.
Yeah, I mean, look, figuring that the Yokai drone was going to stop it regardless, get off and see if you can find the kill, but there's not enough time to do that.
Wow, that is super frustrating for the Giants. Maybe in the moment the right call was to do that, but it doesn't pay off. And by the slimmest of margins, 7th Heaven will get a round on the board. Maybe that's a little bit of karma for the round that the Giants won. Remember, they only narrowly got a plant down in the dying milliseconds of one of their previous attacks. So I guess it all comes around full circle, and at the end of the half, we're even.
Yeah, and it's probably about right for Chalet as well. I don't think this really says too much about where this is going to be heading in this second half. Giants on the defense, you would imagine, will be formidable. Difficult for 7th Heaven to really penetrate. So we'll see how it plays out. But in all fairness to 7th Heaven, they are up for the fight. I think you said at the start, because before we started this, you had an inkling, yeah? You felt like 7th Heaven were here to play.
I had the tingle. I had the APAC tingle. It's been tingling quite a bit this week, let's just put it that way. So many of these matches are just ridiculously close. It's not healthy for my heart or anyone's heart, but it's good fun to watch.
I agree.
It's good fun.
It is, yeah, and it's nice to also have a bit of map variety as well. Can't complain about that. Having a bit of coastline in the previous matchup with Order and QC.
APAC is better than every other region. We don't just play Clubhouse and Borrigan, so beat that.
Got the better fans as well, better viewers.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we'll see if we can get a better second half here, because the first one was not too bad, and if we get anything better, it's going to be a blockbuster finish to close out Playday 5. Giants on the defense, 7th Heaven. Going to have to show us what they're made of now, because they're the ones that are expected to be aggressive and look to unlock the Giants' defense.
Speakeasy narrowly escapes that opening engagement as he tries to bleed more time here from 7th Heaven. They do, of course, have the Jackal on the board. Ray finding the footprints of the Malusi. That Speakeasy backed in towards Bar. Receives some support as well from the likes of the Library Stairs. 7th Heaven now looking to, I guess, establish that foothold, but I like this aggression from the Giants. They're not letting them have it too easy, or at least not too early into the round.
But are they going to push back down too early at some point? And then that might allow 7th Heaven to have a bit of a foothold and look to get in. I'd like to see Giants be aggressive and look to find kills above and really put the pressure onto 7th Heaven. At the same time, though, it's smart to play conservative. Luna's just going to block off these Library Stairs, which is smart with the Clash. Being utilized a little bit differently to what we saw from Spirited when 7th Heaven were on the defense.
Ooh,
just going to block that nade. Did take a chunk of damage, though. Minute left in the round, though. Plenty of time here for 7th Heaven to deal with this Clash and the Giants.
ED, the only player left on the attack with a nade. It'll need to be a perfect nade at that to have any chance of taking down Luna. Otherwise, they'll need to establish crossfires and take him down that way. Luna is extremely proficient on all shields. He'll be formidable in this round to shut down. He could, of course, fall off this position if he deems so. And yeah, that's going to make that plant really, really tough. But it is a 5 versus 3. Luna and the team definitely under the pump.
Yeah, they're finding picks elsewhere, which is working out really, really well for 7th Heaven. I'm not sure if they're doing that while trying to find the crossfires or establish them onto Luna, but hey, it's working out. However way you want to do it, 7th Heaven never even looked like getting onto the site, and yet just kept finding kill after kill. That was super clean, and they now take the lead here on Chalet.
Poor Luna left all alone at the end, cops a couple of bullets in the face, and yeah, I really like that from 7th Heaven. They decided to inflict a little bit of damage on Luna, put a bit of pressure on him, but they knew that he was probably the linchpin in them losing that round, so they decided to ignore him, instead applied pressure over towards Snowmobile, found a couple of picks here and there, slowly. They didn't get traded, and they won the round. It was just super nice to watch. Good adaptation, pays off, and they get the lead.
Master bedroom, office, round 8, and another APAC South classic brewing here on Chalet. You can just almost sense the Giants sweating a little bit here. If 7th Heaven get this next round, guys, I would not be surprised to see attack time out at 5-3.
Wonder what the Giants are going to do now. They've brought the castle to the board. Yazira will be able to place those barricades around the map, of course. Where, though? Maybe below. Okay. So the Giants likely extending down below. They might play off Verd and try to waste the resources of 7th Heaven in that manner. Of course, keeping in mind that here in APAC, more often than not, teams will take from the north side over towards Solarium. That does differ a little bit from some of the other regions who might be more bedroom-centric, or even over towards K9. Of course, we'll have to see how this one plays out. Each team
I like how you say that we've played like 2 games of Chalet.
No, APAC North. Come on.
APAC North.
We're all encompassing over here.
Yeah. No, I'll take that one back. Welcoming. You're right. Yeah. We're one big happy family. Yeah, look here, right? But Seventh Heaven are just... They're switched on now as a team and as a unit. Not sure if I can say the same for Giants. Who's making plays outside of Hysterics? Who's getting involved? Uzera's been good. Quiet from Luna tonight. Speakeasy as well. Quiet night. And they just don't look, again, like the Giants you would expect coming into this season. 2 minutes left in the round, and Seventh Heaven just about all over the place here on Chalet. Proximity Llama destroyed by Souffle.
There's a player below. It's Luna. Roaming around trying to find a pick. There's going to be an engagement. Who wins it? Souffle. What? Sees the edge of the shoulder, surely. But doesn't hit the shot. Luna uses one impact to create an angle. Misses the initial burst. It's a dogfight between these two. Luna now on 1 HP's worth of health. And Souffle jumps on that opportunity to get the first pick in the round.
I thought you missed the opportunity after firing early against Luna early on in that engagement. I thought that then sort of opened things up for Luna to really take advantage there. 2 and 7 now. Seventh Heaven with the numerical advantage. 5 versus 4 with a minute left in the round. An opportunity. It's not match point after this, but then really becomes almost, what is it? Well, I don't even know what you would call it. 1 point match or something. You get 1 point at least for securing 6 rounds, and well, they'll be 1 round away if they can win this one. 4 versus 3. Pika needs to pick me up. Down but not out with 30 seconds left. Souffle going for the quick revive and then straight back in to get this plant down.
30 seconds left on the board. ED attempts to scout sights with the Gemini. Oh, Speakeasy sees the player inside of Solarium. Yeets the C4, but only does a little bit of damage. Needs to find a shot.
Oh my god.
ED's there to swing. Oh, he gets timed, but he still wins the fight. It's Jordan in the 1 versus 4. He's inside of Piano. Time, Magby on his side, but he gets taken down. It's Souffle. He steps up big for Seventh Heaven, and they extend the lead.
I'm speechless. And yeah, in a way, I'm almost not that surprised, but I am. Like, at this point, the way that APAC South has been playing, you almost expect something like this to take place. 5-3, Seventh Heaven leading, looking quite clinical on the attack here on Chalet. No one predicted Seventh Heaven to win this matchup, and there's a very good chance that they may just do that. 1 round away from securing at least 1 point, and at minimum overtime. And this is the thing for Giants, guys, right? Here's a not so fun fact for them. They lose this in regulation, they are tied last with 2 play days to go.
How crazy is that? It's unbelievable to think that heading into this season, the Giants would be anything other than first or maybe second. They were the team to beat alongside Cloud9 last year in APAC North, and I know there was a lot of discussion when it was announced they'd be joining APAC South that maybe the level of competition against them might not be as high as they are worthy of, but all you need to do now is look at the standings and it starts to get a little bit hairy. Of course, we don't want to call this game just yet, but
no.
I think the fact that Seventh Heaven, a team that again survived relegations last year, is really taking it up to them is a story within itself.
And on top of that as well, Giants will play Knights in play day 6, the next play day. Both, if Giants lose this, both would be coming off a pretty brutal loss. And then that, in a way, guys, does that determine playoffs right there? That match, play day 6, that's shaping up to be season defining in itself. So right now for Giants, there's an opportunity that they let playoffs slip if they can't claw their way back into this match. Long way to go, but yet not that long. Seventh Heaven playing so well right now. And for themselves, this would put them into 4th and a playoff position with 2 play days to go. They'll play Elevate, though, and Q confirmed. So this is a must-win for Seventh Heaven.
Yeah. And they're playing like they must win right now. It's been a very solid performance from them so far. They'll need to continue to back those efforts up, though. Another northern take here by the attack. Greeted by a player inside of Kitchen, but Seventh Heaven, they get aggressive. That's the man of the hour. Hysterics taken down. That's a huge pick.
Yeah, I think you're understating it. Hysterics is the one that usually does that to the opposition and hasn't really been able to get a foothold in this match over the last couple of rounds or so.
Oh, no.
Speaking of foothold, perfectly timed Souffle getting himself stuck at piano. I mean, surely gets him out of this one, right? I don't think anyone from Giants is going to swing onto this, but this is hilarious.
That does, of course, mean Souffle for the remainder of the round, once picked up, will need to contest gunfights with only a single bullet's worth of HP backing him, which, of course, is not ideal. ED, he'll be the first one forward. It's the Gemini to gain intel, and Souffle has 2 breaching charges still to work with. Will be looking to clear some utility, you would think, but again, he needs to be mindful of his HP and not get taken down cheaply. Exothermic
charge just to increase the visibility towards library stairs now for 7th Heaven. Nicely done from Luna. Big kill. At least just for himself. Oh my god, ED with a ball bang onto Luna as I was praising Luna. I mean, there's nothing that Luna could do about that one, though. That's just unfortunate. Speakeasy, though, gets one back. Keeps the advantage on the side of Giants. Not for long. Pika having a big game. 9-3-4 now. They still have the diffuser. 8 seconds, but a long way away from the site. Didn't pick it up. But no one has it. Speakeasy gets the kill. It's a 1 versus 1. And if Speakeasy plays this right, he's just going to play hide and seek and couldn't be found. What a clusterful round.
I'll finish that word off. And you know what else couldn't be finished off the round there by 7th Heaven? I do wonder how much of an impact Souffle getting caught by the frostbat had there, because it took what, 15, 20 seconds maybe, approximately, for him to actually get picked up. If that
and the health.
If that didn't occur, that utility would have been cleared a lot quicker. The Giants would have had to fall off library sooner, and the attack would have had more time to think about the execute. It all sort of got compounded right at the very end there, and it was a great, valiant effort in the end. They got really, really close, but Timer was their biggest enemy, and the Giants, Speakeasy, I believe it was more specifically, could just sit tight.
Where do you see it going from here, though? 5-4. I mean, Giants kind of breathe a sigh of relief. They can build off that round win, but 7th Heaven, I mean, as you said, there's sort of circumstances that played out in that last round where you sit back and say, right, you know, play a little bit better, don't stand in a frost trap, and you can probably go back to getting match point.
Not walking in frost traps is normally pretty good strat, Xenox, so I'm sure they'll be thinking about that one heading into this round. Of course, they won't need to contest with any traps because there's none on the board, so maybe one to keep in the back of the mind for a later round. Attackers are moving out to locate. I like this actual setup from the Giants. So on that southern wall in towards lobby, they've reinforced one side and then actually created a line of sight near towards the K9 double window. So it does make it a bit more precarious if teams want to push from there. But again, keep in mind, typically we are seeing pushes from the north side, so the left-hand side of screen. Does differ a little bit from, again, other regions, and people in chat who probably play ranked when everyone pushes from lobby for whatever reason. APAC, though, they love that Solarium push.
Well, I was going to say first kill so important, and I kind of remembered that the last round, 7th Heaven getting that first pick onto Hysterics, and, well, in the end, didn't actually...
Oh, he does it again!
Oh, my God, it's a repeat, but this time instead of Hysterics, it's Hizero who gets picked by Pika in a very similar manner. As you said, he's done it again. 5 versus 4. Well, this time, though, guys, can they capitalize?
It's the golden question. Does mean they have control down below. Looks like there's a player on the library stairs, but that won't be of much pressure to the players inside of Kitchen. That said, whoever that is roaming down below is now in blue. So that is a flank that 7th Heaven will need to be mindful of. It's Jordan, who's had a pretty solid map so far, a couple of impact plays here and there. And he could be on for another. Keep in mind, the Nomad has been banned, but it doesn't matter. The cross is being held from the front door. It's Souffle. He says, "G'day," finds the pick.
What were you saying?
And now it's a 5-on-3.
How quickly things could change. 5-on-3, 7th Heaven. You win this round, you secure 1 point. Doesn't sound like a lot, but as we have specified quite a few times, it means so much in the grand scheme of things. 45 seconds left. Edie's just one barricade away from getting the kill onto Luna. Should swing in here and get the kill, and does so. That's round done. They're looking quite clean. Oh, this is ominous. Flawless from 7th Heaven. Match point. Are we going to see a tack timeout? Surely, Gus.
Yeah, you've got to take a tack timeout here. Of course, online tactical timeouts only introduced here in 2021. And we often see teams utilizing those when the advantage is going against them or the momentum is compounding against them. So you would have to assume that unless the Giants are feeling really positive still, that they would take it. I mean, so far they're not, so difficult to say. What we do know is that they'll be heading back down to basement, which actually for them has been, for the most part, a pretty solid site. I mean, in fact, it's actually, no, it's not been a solid site. They lost it. So I'm still thinking of their attacks. Their attacks were solid,
yes,
but their defense not so much. They posted Luna up on the library stairs with the clash, which worked for the most part. But then 7th Heaven just said, we'll ignore that. Let's just not worry about it. We'll just do a full front-on assault from the garage, from Snowmobile, and it worked. They found
Luna was the last
picks
one to die.
Yeah, it worked beautifully. So that's what the Giants will need to try and counter in this round.
Well, no clash. Onto Echo for Luna. So a little bit of a switch up here, which I do like. The clash, while annoying, hasn't actually secured a round win on basement, I don't think, really, right? We even saw it from 7th Heaven when they utilized the clash, and that didn't really prove to be too impactful either, outside of, again, just being slightly annoying. Match point, 1 point secured for 7th Heaven, which that 1 point, as it stands, now shifts them up into 4th place alone. But of course, since they're playing Giants, they can't allow Giants to get 2 points, which would then mitigate that 1 point. So close out here, though, you get all 3, and that's really what you want more than anything. Can Giants respond, though? Season on the line, really, for Giants as well. Yes, they can bring it back in the latter stages of the season with 2 play days to go, but they are going to be the underdogs in those play days.
Early fight could ensue here inside of office. It's Jordan again off-site, looking for something. 7th Heaven will drone their entries in, and they've actually pinged out the potential position of this roamer, but Jordan will try and sneak away. Spots a Gemini, but gets taken out immediately. Oh, it's a good trade, though, from Luna. He loves this library stairs position, and it gets him a pick in this round.
But that's job done. And that's like 3 rounds in a row now from Pika, I think, getting the opening kill. At least gets traded back this time, fortunately for Giants, because they haven't actually been able to do so in previous rounds, right? Feeling himself a little bit, just trying to slowly start to push down. Now towards basement. On the Jackal. A lot of time left in the round. 4 versus 4.
Pika has just been dominant in this second half. 4 out of the 5 attacking rounds, he's gotten the opening kill. But as you mentioned, I guess the saving grace was Luna playing at the top of the stairs. He got the trade and was able to filter back towards the objective. Diffuser in the hands of Spirited. The wall has been blown in towards Wine as smokes get sent out. Plenty of time to work with here. 7th Heaven don't really need to rush into an execute.
They are all funneling in, though, into Wine now from one sort of area. This may allow Giants to be able to just now swing in, find a couple of kills, quick transfers because they're so close to each other. Edie, though, getting the elimination onto Hysterics. Nice trade back. Spirited, those big in these scenarios. Speakeasy shuts him down, doesn't allow him to clutch up. Diffuser's down, 2 versus 2. Retake now for Giants. Speakeasy and Luna must win. Edie does not go down to that nade. Counter defuse. 3, 2, 1. Luna has to stick it. Luna will stick it and win the round for Giants. Oh, this is not over yet. There may still be another twist in this tale.
Another nail-biting round there, and the Giants edge out. It came down to a microsecond once again, but Luna sticks it. The confidence on the man, and off the back of that early round trade, it flows through him, and it needs to flow through his team now as well. They're a point away from heading this one to overtime. But 7th Heaven, they're not rolling over anytime soon.
I don't know, guys. I don't know. Is that an opportunity gone begging for 7th Heaven? It very well could be. Similar manner to their Knights game in Play Day 4 in Oregon. When they forced the OT but missed a few crunch time opportunities that gave Knights the ability to go on and win that one. If Giants send this to OT, I do fear for 7th Heaven. I really, really do. They have to close this out. Regardless of the fact that you obviously want to get all 3 points, that would be ideal, especially for a team like 7th Heaven, who are ultimately going to struggle probably in the last 2 play days to get many points. And there's an opportunity right in front of you here. 2 match points, now down to 1. But for Giants, there's so much on the line, so they're going to give everything they've got in this final regulation round.
Bar and games will be the objective of choice here from the Giants as they prepare their extension on the other side of the map, as well as their utility at the top of Library Stairs. If it plays out similarly to the previous rounds, expect 7th Heaven to enter into a Solarium and then slowly work their way in towards Office and Piano, where we can see now. Then, of course, take above the objective inside of Library and work their way down, but of course, that's easier said than done. The Giants have placed many obstacles on that course to achieve that objective. And even once you get all those objectives ticked off, you still need to get in towards the side and get a plant down. So, very tough as ED takes a little bit of damage. An early engagement downstairs, in fact.
I feel like we need a Pika cam. Where's Pika at? It's almost his time to make an entry and find a kill. Droning out at the moment. No kill yet from Pika. You mentioned the stat before. It doesn't look like that's going to be his role in this particular round. Maybe 7th Heaven will just slow things down a bit. Although Edie now going to Gemini Ray forward. Ray doesn't elect to, now just shifts his drone around. Taking control of Kitchen and this first floor. It's a minute and a half in the round. Much slower than some of the previous rounds that we've had so far in Chalet.
No one's playing inside of Kitchen on this occasion for the Giants. Too scared of Pika's ability to jump in that trophy window and seemingly hit the shot every single time. That does forfeit it, of course, to Ray on the Jackal. He'll be able to scan some footprints and find any of the remaining players scattered around the map. Spirited as well. He has the diffuser in hand on the Thermite. Not sure what impact his hard breach will have on this round. Probably a little bit limited. But the 5.56, still a strong primary, and he'll be able to use that to full effect.
50 seconds left. 50 seconds away from deciding whether or not it's 3.7 Heaven or 1 point apiece. So much riding in these next 40 seconds. Gas canisters are going to be deployed now. Ysera from Speakeasy has no more left. It's Spirited with the opening kill of the round. I guess it is a clutch round, so why not? It is maybe the round that Spirited is going to finish things off and give 7th Heaven all 3 points. Ray, the second. Now they've got a big advantage here on out. Who's going to come up big for Giants when they need it the most? They need Hysterics to do some hysterics things if they're going to win it from here. 15 seconds left. Sightlines established. Speakeasy at Library Stairs. Yazera's gone. They're running out of players. They're running out of time. Hysteric can't do hysterics things. And you know what's happening, guys? Despite Speakeasy getting one and maybe a second no, Giants lose out to 7th Heaven, who are in 7th Heaven right now. They're also into the top 4 with this result. All 3 points secured in the bag, and Giants Gaming are tied last with 2 play days to go.
What an incredible performance there from 7th Heaven. They thoroughly deserved that win. Pika was a standout player in this match, so deadly on the entry, and the Giants, they'll be shocked. This has been a very, very disappointing stage 1.
That's putting it lightly. It's been a disaster, stage 1. They're struggling to win